Welcome, Goons, to the Wrestling Goons Radio for Monday, July 28th, 2014. We're doing the Raw review tonight, and I got a panel of four of the Goons with me, starting with Damien Lawson. What's up, Damien?
How you doing, Todd?
Good. Got my boy DT. What's up, Daniel?
What's going on? I'm happy tonight.
And now two people that probably won't be happy, Drew Nickens.
It's wrong.
And, of course, as always, Anthony Hammond.
I'm okay with it, but I'm not okay with Bo, but when you play later.
Right. I'm sure everybody has strong feelings on that. We started off Raw tonight with what I thought was a pretty strong opening segment with Cena, Heyman, and Cesaro. Damien, what do you think of this opening promo?
I love the promo. Cena actually had a little more fire under his belt. I feel like he knows he got to perform in Summerslam. I like how he presented himself as he knows he's going to get beat up. And I always love the troll of Paul Heyman.
True. Daniel, how did you feel about this opening promo?
The opening promo was great. It was probably John Cena's best promo in a long time. I enjoyed the fact of how he just brought out the passion that he had. Basically, Brock Lesnar being that mercenary that basically he's expecting a beatdown, the beatdown of his life, And the crowd to me was a little bit mixed, I thought. But it wasn't a bad promo. Heyman coming out was just great.
True. What do you think, Drew?
I liked it. It was good. I think Cena came out with the usual, Brock Lesnar, he's so scary, I'm going to get my ass whooped type deal. But, I liked the little bit of fire that he had. I liked Paul Heyman coming out. Paul Heyman is probably the best worker on the mic that WWE has, and they're using them right. I love that Cesaro came out, but there was no hard feelings between Cesaro and Heyman. I thought that was very interesting with the opening segment. Cesaro is showing that he's a little bit better on the mic than what people think, because guess what? He gave the crowd what they wanted when he said, Cena, you can't wrestle. And the whole thing with the shoes was gold. Gold. And that's my opinion.
Yep. Anthony.
I thought that it was a good segment, actually, but I kind of felt like that they had wrote this in a long time ago before they decided that Cesaro wasn't going to be a Paul Heyman guy, that he was going to be the guy and get Cena ready, for Lesnar. And that was just pretty much where they carried it over at. They were just like, all right, well, we already wrote it that way, so we're going to make him come out and do this. As far as the promo goes, it was great. Cesaro did say exactly what the crowd wanted. Cena, though, it's almost like the crowd changed by the end of it. Like, I don't know if anybody else caught it. When he raised the title up at the end, he said, and I'm going to keep this son of a bitch. And for John Cena to be the guy to start swinging around cuss words to his promos, it really raises a lot of questions about the direction the WWE is heading overall as a product of their vision for their company, I think. But overall, and as far as all the people out there that say that John Cena can't work in the ring, I do not like John Cena's characteristics anyway. But John Cena, when you put him in there, and yet people top quality delivers every single time. You don't have him in the ring with Randy Orton. He's touched on the show. Tonight was no different. I was impressed.
As far as the promo goes, I'm in agreement with everybody else. It was a good promo. As usual, Cena cuts his best promos when he gets that passion and that fire behind him. Cesaro, it was good that he came on to the match, as Anthony said, it was good. Anybody that says John Cena can't wrestle, like, I mean, I think they're just trying to be a troll. Because, I mean, he's proved that he can wrestle. Is he the most technical person in the ring? No. But, you know, he doesn't need to be. He gets the job done, and he can raise his game when he's in there with a great worker. Damien, what do you think of the match?
I like the match. Cesaro is a great worker. He put on a show. Cena, though. Cena showed me a lot more than I expected tonight. Cena does not put on a show on Raw, so I expected him to cash out, honestly. He showed up tonight.
Yep, I agree. What do you think, Dan?
The match was great. There was a few botches I thought they were mess ups, but it showed to me personally that I think that Cesaro can really go toe to toe with some of the top wrestlers in the business. I would like to see more of Cesaro being at center stage right there in the main event someday. I just want to touch on that. I like the fact that he talked about him not being a Paul Heyman guy anymore and stuff, and he's still behind Paul Heyman. But hopefully somewhere in the near future, maybe Paul Heyman will be his manager and he can't be in the main event one day. But overall, I thought the match was pretty okay. It was pretty good. I thought it was the best match of the night.
Yeah, I agree. That was the best match of the night. And Drew, what do you think of this match?
I loved it. I thought it was interesting because it shows that Cesaro knows what he's doing in the ring. I'm not the biggest fan of Cena in the ring because I feel like he moves so awkwardly. And it's nothing personal against him when I say that. It's just when he's in a ring, he's so awkward because his quads are huge or something. But he has that like kind of Scott Steiner-esque in the way his legs move and the way he has to jump and things of that nature. But I think the spots where Cesaro landed on his feet were awesome. I think all the great little niches that they had, those two have put on a show before. So I knew it was going to be a great match because I think Cena likes Cesaro pretty competitive. So I think he always puts on a show when he's with him because they have great chemistry. So that's what I think.
I want to add kind of though that I think that it had in John. I feel kind of dirty in between his wife and Los Angeles, but it's kind of unfair to say that he doesn't put on a show when he's on Raw because I mean, you think back, the match he had with the Rollins before Rollins made this turn was phenomenal on Raw. He had a phenomenal match with Stone Cold Raw, and then he had a match with Sheamus, Dolph Ziggler. I think he puts on a match on Raw and he doesn't pay for it. Now that can mean just me watching every single match the same way. But to me, I don't think he sells himself short on TV at all.
No, I think I think John Cena stepped his game up in the ring over the last 2 or 3 years. I think maybe starting around the Punk feud, I think it brought out the best in him, and he's been a lot better. I mean, but if you go back and look at anywhere from 2007 to 2010,
Oh yeah.
there's a reason people started chanting Cena can't wrestle because his shit really was pretty bad, and as Drew said, really awkward in the ring. But yeah, I mean, we're all in agreement that it was a good match, and Cena can up his game when he needs to. The next segment was Triple H and Stephanie in the back, followed by Orton coming in and interrupting, saying what he usually has to say. Daniel, what did you think of this promo?
It was a sleeper in a way. One of those things to fall asleep on, but I think that Orton should not be in a title picture or have a title shot for a while because pretty much it's like for the past year he's been in that title picture of either he's the champ or he's like the number one contender. So I think it's a good thing that they let him fall back a bit.
Drew, what do you think of it, Drew?
I disagree. I think Orton is still in the thick of it because he got that intensity. He got that fire when he was talking with Triple H. tell it was a little bit different than what a normal angry Randy is. You could tell the interaction with Triple H. I love this thing. I thought it brought out a little bit more Randy Orton than we're used to. This, well, she could have gone. No, he was pissed, and he showed it. And later on, we saw what was happening. So I love this stuff. I think it brought out a little bit more Randy than we're used to. So I'm a fan.
Tony, I know you're a fan of heel Orton. Did this little promo do anything for you?
It raised my interest level a little bit. By the way, shout out to poor OJ of the Wrestling Goons, because apparently on Thursday he ran into Randy Orton at the airport, put on questions for the Goons to ask him. So he didn't get asked any of them, but he did say that Orton, when asked if he would leave the Authority, he said to keep watching the things when get interested. With Orton's final line tonight about Triple H, well, if I'm not in the title picture, then you're my problem. I want to see where they're going with that. Could we have another Randy Orton Triple H? I don't think so, but I'm just wondering why they put that line out there if they're not going in.
Damien, what did you think of this little promo backstage?
I like it. I like that angry Orton. I don't like him being a yes man. I really do want to know where they're going with this angle to piggyback about what Anthony said. Will it be Triple H or will he fight Batista? We don't know what's going to happen when he gets that. So it's a lot. It's a lot of angles they can go with this. I just really happy to see that they gave him the spot and stopped pushing Reigns so strong.
Yeah, I'm actually in agreement with Daniel on this. It did nothing for me. It was more of the same, like, and Randy Orton is always pissed off Randy Orton, really. I mean, this whole time he's been with the Authority, he's constantly felt like he was getting overlooked and underpushed and all that, even when he was champion. I just think it's more of the same. It didn't do anything for me. But that's just me. Next we have Paige coming out and cutting a promo on AJ, calling her crazy, and solidifying AJ as a face. Because before now, since AJ's return, she hasn't really done anything to establish herself as a face. She left as a heel, came back kind of as a tweener, but it's now in place that Paige is definitely, it was in place last week that Paige is definitely the heel, but AJ, I thought, did a decent job solidifying her face status tonight. Drew, what did you think of this?
I loved it. I thought it was a very solid promo for Summerslam between Paige and AJ. It's got to be a gimmick match. It's not going to be a regular match. I think they did great because we haven't seen AJ's character again, and we haven't really seen since she's returned. And even in the last couple months that she's in, we didn't see too much crazy AJ as much after, as much with, people calling her crazy and stuff. We didn't see it as much, but I like it. I think it's going to be a damn good match whenever they're in, but it kind of intrigued me for SummerSlam. The only Divas match that I think is going to be interesting.
Drew, what do you think, Anthony?
It better be a gimmick match, because anytime they wrestle a normal match, they botch it. So, hopefully that will be a gimmick match. That's my hope. But as far as the segment goes, it is what it is. They were just telling the story of Paige being the bad guy, AJ being the good guy, setting up the match. It really did enough for me at all. That shit shocking one, though.
I know your feelings on Divas in general. Pretty much in line with that. Damien, what do you think of it?
Two crazy bitches fight.
True. Daniel, what do you think of this?
I thought the segment was good. Like Anthony said, it did tell a story. this was a good showcase of Paige being that heel. AJ coming out, showing that she's not afraid of Paige or anything. She's not going to back down. And, I like Crazy AJ because when she was talking about how she was crazy, it took me back to like a couple years ago how crazy AJ was when she had multiple boyfriends and so forth. But overall, it was good. Uh, this is going to be a great match. I feel like I don't think it's going to be a gimmick. I hope not, but overall, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, like Anthony was saying, they're pretty much just telling the story, advancing it, getting the fans primed and ready for what to expect at SummerSlam. I've heard rumors that it might be a gimmick match, so I wouldn't doubt it considering they had a singles match last month at Battleground, so we'll see. Up next, we had Triple H and Stephanie in the ring getting interrupted by Jericho, which reminded me of the old classic Jericho Stephanie promos back in the day. It wasn't quite that, but I thought it was pretty interesting. What do you think, Tony?
I think that was my problem with it. My expectations were too high when the music hit, and I noticed all the elements that were together. I noticed that Stephanie was in the ring, and you had Jericho on a microphone. I was like, here we go. They've already started cussing all night long. We're about to get a 30-second name calling at Stephanie. He's going to rip it. And they teased it like they were about to go in that direction. And Triple H just cut it off, and that was the end of that. So, yeah, I'm going to say underwhelming because I expected way more of it.
I feel you. Damien, what do you feel about this?
When the music hit, I was like, oh my god. I was ready. And then the whole segment got dull. I was like, what the hell? I mean, he tried to do what he can during the PG era, but he could have ripped her a new one.
Yeah, I was hoping he would. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. DT, what were your thoughts on this segment?
I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was classic Jericho. I mean, he was just being himself. He was just being the old classic, great promo giving talker Jericho that he is. I mean, call him Jericho or whatever. I thought he was great.
We watched the same thing.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, to me, honest with you, when he first came out, I was like, what did he have to do with the whole, story between Triple H and Stephanie? That pretty much bothered me to where I was questioning that. But overall, the promo was good to me, and the Bride coming out and attacking him, it was good to me. It was a good segment, great promo, classic Jericho.
Drew, you like this, Drew?
No, I didn't. I was kind of like, why is he there? I mean, I do like the whole element of the classic, but still, I just was bored. Maybe Jericho was getting stale to me. Maybe I'm just not 14, 15 anymore. But I'm not excited when he gets on like this much anymore. So, I mean, each their own, but I did like the swerve of having Rollins hit him in the back. That was like, yes! Because that meant we're getting a quality match. So, I mean, other than that, I really didn't feel it.
Yeah, I'm with you on it, man. Like, it was kind of underwhelming to me. And yeah, it was kind of weird, like, why would Jericho show up? But, yeah, shit, if it was to set up Rollins and Jericho, that's good. Like, Seth deserves to work with the all-time greats, and, yeah, they put on a good match later on.
Did you notice that Jericho brought up the fact that Triple H is going to get Stephanie out of jail immediately? But they really didn't go anywhere else with it after that. Like, he brought it up, you got a reaction from the crowd, and that was the end of it. Why did they not go back to that? That's pretty interesting.
I mean, the fans was behind them anyway, so I mean, it was a funny, entertaining segment. I mean, from the Orange is the New Black to the cops singing and all that, it was good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. WWE seems like they don't really think they have to try as hard to impress us. Like, it's all about just showing up. Like, Jericho shows up, so they think that'll make it a good segment, even if he doesn't really have anything to say or doesn't, follow up, like Tony was saying, with his points. But yeah, moving on from there, we got Ziggler and the Usos versus Miz and Ryback with an appearance from Big E, Kofi, and Xavier. So, kind of foreshadowing there. Damien, what do you think of this tag match?
Tag match was a little lackluster to me. It had some hot points. I liked the flying Usos always, but Big E and Xavier and Kofi out there, I don't know the meaning behind it. What are you doing? You didn't attack anyone. You didn't say anything. You just stood there. I need to know, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I think they wasted an opportunity. True. Daniel, what do you think of this whole segment?
It was okay. I begin to appreciate and enjoy the Usos more and more each week. Ziggler, of course, one of my favorite guys. The Miz, I love. I think the Miz, it gets me thinking that the Miz probably is going to be the Intercontinental Champion for a long time because he's always out of the ring. He's afraid to get hit. So it gets me to thinking like this guy's not going to give up the title anytime soon. The whole Coffee, Kingston, Vicky, Xavier being outside the ring, of course, like I went on the rant last week, I hate it. It didn't make sense. They didn't do nothing. They're just there, just to say, "Ooh, look at those guys on the side." It's like, what's their purpose? What's their agenda? Tell me that.
I agree. What do you think, Drew?
I was kind of like, why do they have the Usos with Ziggler, and then why do they have our backstory with Miz? Like, if you're gonna establish your Miz, why don't you just have him go up against someone we can see tonight instead of a waxing attack? Had enough room for it. There could have been 2 more matches tonight, so I didn't understand why they just threw together some ragtag 6-man tag match. But having the original King Common here, with Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer, was interesting. I'm just gonna call it the King of Comedy now because they all suited up. So I like that. I think it's intriguing because I think they're gonna be mainly on SmackDown and main event proving their point. Because I think they're going to be getting a little bit more time there until they truly develop into what WWE actually wants them to go in whatever direction. I think SummerSlam, we're going to see a nice little swerve with them. I think we're going to see a strong push. I think they're going to get the belt somehow. So I'm hoping that this is foreshadowing that there's something bigger than what we're actually looking at for this picture. So that's how I see it.
Tony, what do you take away from
It
this?
better be better, and we couldn't get much smaller. The only much smaller than me is Stardust. Like, that's about how irrelevant they are to me. And it's done on the outside, I think exactly what Damien said pretty much. Like, why are you there? What are you doing? And then I agree with what Todd said about how it's like they have a card and they have a roster that night. And it's like they do roll call. They're like, who's here? Raise your hand. Everybody raising their hand. They're like, alright, well, here's who we're putting in matches tonight. It don't make no sense. Like, why is Ziggler and the Usos? I mean, I get that Ziggler and the Miz have a feud and the Usos might be fighting right back. So, but why? Like, why give it a 6-man tag?
Yeah, I mean, WWE over the last year and a half, 2 years, has seemed to rely on the six-man format. You know, it was created out of, you know, the Shield and Wyatt starting. So, of course, you know, we'd always see main events, and the face team would always be random thrown together. You know, you might have Cena, Sheamus, and Big E, or something like that. So, yeah, I thought that the teams themselves, like y'all were saying, kind of just thrown together. Doesn't really make sense. Like, you know, Dolph and Miz don't ever interact with any of those tag teams. So, thought that was kind of dumb. And yeah, I thought that they missed a big opportunity with Xavier and them. You know, given that they just started this angle last week, tonight would have been the perfect time for them to come out and cut an in-ring promo and state what they're going to be all about, because we still don't know what direction they're going with it. If this is going to be a new Nation of Domination or something completely different. We don't know if they're going to be faces or heels. Yeah, so I mean, I just thought it was kind of dumb. I mean, you want to give them as much of a push right off the bat as possible. If you don't get them over in the beginning, then, you know, if people don't care at the start, it's going to be pretty damn hard to get them to care down the road. Moving on, probably the segment that is going to elicit the most passionate responses from the panel. We have R-Truth ending Bo Dallas's streak. Daniel, what did you think?
What I think? My client, R-Truth, have conquered Bo Dallas Street. It was the greatest segment of all time. He finally did. R-Truth, I hate R-Truth, by the way. But today, I have a newfound respect for him. He will now forever be one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. This was great. This was awesome. Bo Dallas was a little, you know, he celebrated a little bit too early. And look what happens. R-Truth comes in, scoops him up for the pin. 1, 2, 3. It was great. He ends the streak. Now he's like, what, 15 and 16 and 1 or now or something? But at least he's, you know, becoming a heel. 17 and 1. Okay. At least we know now he's in the direction of becoming a heel now instead of that corny in-betweener. So I like to say I'm sorry to all you believers out there. Now you guys can stop believing because Bo Dallas sucks.
Drew, I know this ruined your whole Raw experience.
Oh, I was so disappointed because at first I thought, you know, why didn't they do, you know, when they were on SmackDown and they have Bo Dallas dancing to R-Truth's music, like, that made me go, okay, Bo Dallas is the real thing. I really enjoy it. That's why I like him. He's quirky and he does eat heel heat. I kind of had that feeling. I was like, please don't let him do this. Please don't give him the Cesaro treatment. Please don't give him the Cesaro treatment. And he got cocky and he lost. But then we saw an Edge to Bo Dallas that we haven't seen yet. And I hope this feud just lasts 2 weeks because I hate the bum on the street, R-Truth. You know, that Facebook video, the one where he hit the chest. You know, it reminds me of R-Truth. You know, so I really didn't like that he lost to R-Truth. Like, you could have bet him to Rusev, you could have bet him to Jack Swagger. Swagger would have been better because it makes Swagger look stronger, but it also carries on to the other team. There was a lot of other people. I mean, Ambrose or Sheamus. There was a lot of people that you could have betted to that wasn't R-Truth that would have been a little bit more interesting. So I was very, very upset. I didn't even want to take the trash out. I didn't even want to do the podcast. I was so upset. So,
Anthony, I know you're just as big a Bo Dallas fan as Drew. What did you think of the booking here?
I'm going to surprise everyone right now. I'm going to play Devil's Advocate for a second. However, it isn't as much about who the opponent was as about what happened at the end of the match. Because as her said, we officially finally got a clear direction that Bo Dallas is going to be a heel. We kind of knew anyway, but they made it clear tonight. So, for that reason, we all knew that the streak was not going to last anyway. And the pressure is off now. There is no pressure to be perfect. And I think that I'm excited for the next promo. I want to see how Bo Dallas wins being a loser now. That's going to be awesome.
Damien, how did you feel about Bo Dallas' streak ending?
I didn't even follow the street. Bo Dallas losing didn't make or break my night. Our truth winning is a surprise. I never thought I'd see this guy win again. I thought he was getting the Zack Ryder treatment.
And Zack Ryder won last week, too.
Exactly. I was just about to bring it up.
Exactly. And the best part about this is, Bo has a new finisher.
Yes, yes.
More satisfaction.
But
He's
where,
doing the double arm BDT.
but where
I'm
we
good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The thing that I think about it is, you know, I don't think that Bo Dallas was getting the kind of response that they wanted going with this streak gimmick. They had him clearly working as a heel before, but, you know, his promos make you think that, oh, he's a face. He talks about being inspirational, even though he, you know, cheats to win, he cheap shots people, everything like that. I think that they are trying to find something for him to kickstart his response. And like I did hear a few chants for him. I heard some people chanting "We Bo Leave," so you know maybe it'll help him out because I think he does need some help. Like
got awesome victory.
Tony was saying that it takes the pressure off of him. I don't know about that. Like, considering all the budget cuts WWE's been making, I think there's still a lot of pressure on him and all the new people. Rusev, Adam Rose, Page, Xavier Woods. Like, I think all of them, you know, none of them are safe. So, yeah, I mean, I don't like Bo Dallas. I'm glad the streak is over so I don't have to hear JBL every week. But, yeah, I think that they're just looking for a new angle for him because it hasn't really worked out. Next we had Rusev and Lana in the ring cutting the same promo we usually hear, followed by Zeb and Swagger coming out. Drew, what did you think about this?
I was just kind of like, okay, we're kind of getting this storytelling element of okay, a flag versus flag, you know, talking, you know, Zach Colton tried to do the face thing, and it really didn't work out until he said beer. That's some broken GMO for life. Beer cookies all day. But I think honestly, it kind of fell flat for me. So I was kind of disappointed because I thought, all right, you know, Lana, they're going to spit the regular thing, and Zeb Colter's going to come out and wow me, and he really fell flat on his face.
What do you think, Tony?
I did take a couple of things from it. First thing was, for the first time in Lana's promo, you mentioned Obama by name tonight. I guess she thought that we're going to get her heel boot, and it didn't. It got an indifferent response. Crowd was like, yeah, we hate him too, awesome. But then they put Bush on the Titantron, and they went against it. So that accomplished their goal, put the redneck on a wrestling show, and the crowd would go, you don't talk about our president. As far as Zeb, it sounded like Zeb was running for president. That's what it sounded like. I mean, the only thing he missed there was I haven't heard. So, pretty much that's all I took from it. I think it's funny how, like, 3 weeks ago, when they cut this promo, we all thought it was the greatest promo that seen in, years. And now just 3 weeks later, it just goes to show that when you run something in the dirt long enough, people stop caring.
Yep. I mean, that's obvious with Fandango. You know, like he caught on virally with his team last year, and as soon as WWE sunk their claws into it and ran that shit into the ground, people started hating it. So
Exactly.
they don't know restraint, so that's pretty obvious. Damien, what do you think of the flag segment here?
It was the same old song and dance. I love Zeb. I don't have anything bad to say about Zeb. I wish WWE would add more managers, more people to talk for these wrestlers, because these wrestlers suck at talking. These old guys can actually make you want to watch. And that's what I take from Zeb and, of course, Paul. They both make you want to watch. That's what I took from this set.
True. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. They need to use managers definitely more often. GT, what do you feel about it?
I'm pretty much in agreement with everyone else. It was pretty much the same thing. Zeb is a great manager. He's probably the best thing that ever happened to Jack Swagger. However, it's getting kind of old now with the feud and the whole anti-American and pro-American and all that. But I mean, the promo was okay on Zeb's side, but it's like, falling off a bit. It's like, how longer are y'all gonna continue this? Hopefully, it all ends at SummerSlam.
True. Yeah, I mean, it was the same old song and dance. The rumor is that it will be a flag match at SummerSlam. So, we're definitely getting that gimmick between this. But yeah, like Tony said, her mentioning Obama didn't seem to work out like they thought. I mean, they were in Texas, like the most conservative state in the country. So yeah, they kind of made up for it by having George Bush, hometown hero, show up on the street. So, but yeah, same old song and dance. I do like that they actually do have mouthpieces, and like Damien said, that's something that WWE desperately needs for some of these heels. Because yeah, I mean, it's not just Jack Swagger and Rusev. Like, there are a lot of heels that could be better served with a mouthpiece.
Anna the only valet? Am I thought? I think Anna's the only valet, right?
I mean, let's just count Summer and Layla doing whatever the hell they're doing. But I wouldn't.
The thing that I would like, and I think this would be interesting, having Jade Mitchell with the Ascension.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. I mean, because Rick Victor is okay talking, and kind of Ryan sounds like a caveman.
He's horrible.
With his voice. So, I mean, that makes sense if they do bring any managers together, or Booker T.
I mean, yeah, it'd be awesome, but I don't think we'll ever see the Sinister Minister show up in WWE. He's never worked for him before, so.
One more thing that I like, at SummerSlam, when Hogan music starts playing, Rusev would kick the shit out of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a way to inject some much-needed life into this feud.
If Hogan grabs the flag and hands the Swagger, I'm taking the fucking off. I'm not like
I don't think you would boycott it. We know how long your last boycott of WWE lasted. About a week. But yeah, moving on, we had another comedy segment. We had Adam Rose and Astronaut Sandow. I thought this was totally fucking stupid. Yeah. What did y'all think, Drew?
I'm tired of seeing these two match up. This is like Jesus and Del Rio or Alberto Del Rio versus RVD or Randy Orton versus John Cena. You know, it's just overkill. They find a matchup and then they just beat it to death. They think that we see it 50 times in a row. Oh, they're just gonna enjoy it because Adam Rose is a party person and Sandow's funny. Well, if you don't lead them in the right path, no one's gonna give a shit and they're gonna go take out the trash, which I found we did during that match. So
it was garbage. So it's very fitting you took out the trash. Tony, what do you think?
I'm glad I get to talk before Daniel Center. That's what I think. I think that Adam Rose proves every single week that the crowd isn't gonna care him. Your name is not Daniel Center or Antoine Pollard. You don't give two rat's ass about Adam Rose. Even when he cuts the promo and says his catchphrase, don't be a lemon, be a rosebud, he's the only one screaming. Nobody else is screaming. Nobody cares. And as far as his matches, his Titantron is longer than his matches. So, that's what I say about that. I don't really have anything else to add. Damien Sandow wrestled in a fucking astronaut suit. That man does not care.
Damien, what do you think of this abomination of a segment?
Oh my god. This segment. Where's Santino when you need him? Please miss Santino at this moment because I'd rather see him than Adam Rose. Adam Rose, I'd rather see Greg Lee.
You gonna defend your boy here?
Of course I'm going to defend him. This was like the second greatest match of the night. It was all great. Adam Rose is in the record books. He's probably a top 10 with the fastest win in WWE history. He's probably, oh, guess what? He's like, 17, 18 in rows? How about your boy Bo Dallas? Nah, I don't think so. Hey, whatever gets Adam Rose on TV, I'm okay.
Had Daniel 18 times in a row.
Hey, how many Adam Rose's 17 wins have equaled 25 minutes of in-ring time?
Hey,
Oh, God.
hey, he hasn't lost yet.
Don't usually last more than 2 or 3 minutes either, though.
Oh,
I miss Leo.
a win is a win. That's all that matters. A win is a win.
Sorry, come on.
I mean, Daniel does bring up a good point. Like, I mean, a month ago, if someone would have said that Adam Rose would be undefeated and Bo Dallas would not be, nobody would believe him. But sure enough, that's what happened.
This is
I
his
mean,
push.
Adam Rose obviously hasn't been as prominently featured as Bo Dallas, and it doesn't seem like they have a plan for him, even less of a plan than they do for Bo. But yeah, I mean, he is technically still undefeated, so
Oh, God.
he does have that going for him, I guess.
Bo at Los Matadores for a while.
Don't be
The
alarmed,
reason
guys.
you run it in track is a special ship place every time you go to the
You guys need to stop being so much of a limit and be a rosebud.
The Olympics on the podcast.
Hey, you daddy, one thing. We don't apologize to any people that have just like special. Let's move on before we get banned. Alright.
Next segment we had was Reigns coming out to have his match with Kane and Orton attacking him and RKOing him through the table. Tony, what do you think about this whole segment?
Kudos to Randy Orton for saying, you know what? The plan was for the table to break. Damn it, the table is gonna break. Kudos to Roman Reigns for selling for about 15 minutes. Because that was the longest beatdown I think I've ever seen. If Hannah was born from the Dean Ambrose beatdown, I'm pretty sure she fell asleep during the Roman Reigns beatdown. So, other than that, it told the story that it needed to tell. We saw the fire that Damien was talking about with Randy Orton. He really let him have it. They need to bring the boot back. That's enough. I'm banning the boot. If you want to make Randy Orton hell, he got to be able to kick the freaking head off. If you can do the curve stomp, you can do the boot. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Damien, what did you take away from this segment?
The table won. But the beatdown, it was one of the worst beatdowns ever. I like this flyer. I like Randy Orton doing it, but man, I got beat worse. Kurt Angle got beat worse. Shit, Daniel Bryan got beat worse. If you're gonna do it, go all out.
I agree. DP.
Actually, I was looking forward to seeing Reigns and Kane fight until Randy came out there. But like Anthony said, he did sell that beat down pretty good. Shout out to the botch table. Um, Overall, it was a great beat down. For some reason, I have a feeling that they're gonna have Randy Orton versus Reigns and Kane in a triple threat match for probably like the number one contender for the title. I don't know why, but that's how I see it. But the segment itself was good.
Drew, did you like this segment?
Y'all know I love seeing Luther get hit a little bit. So, Luther, and those of you goons that, listen, don't know what I'm referring to. I'm referring to Roman Reigns by his daddy's name, Luther Reigns, because it's so damn similar.
That's for sure. Alright.
No, but I love seeing Roman get his ass kicked. I mean, I don't like the guy. Honestly, it shows Randy a little bit more edge where he didn't need anybody to help him. He didn't need Kane to help. He came at him and just whooped the shit out of him. And it showed that Randy was left at the edge where he's like, you want to steal something from me? Oh, I'm going to get you now. You want to steal this from me? I'm going to show you. And he put his foot down Roman's throat and just crushed his vocal cords. So we'll see how the crowd reacts next week since Roman got his ass kicked. Let's see if they are actually behind him. Because I think this is the first time you've ever seen Roman vulnerable. So we'll see. It's interesting.
Yeah, I'm with Damien. I thought the beatdown was pretty lackluster. Honestly, the whole program with Orton, Kane, and Reigns has been boring the shit out of me. I think it's been one of the more boring things going on the show. And like, I like Reigns. Like, he's gonna be big. Like, he's pretty much carrying this whole feud. Like, if it was just Orton and Kane, like, I don't think anybody would really care. Like, I've been having a really hard time caring about Orton again. He's kind of fallen back into that role that he was in a year or two ago, where he's just there. He's still a main eventer, but he's not really doing much. Because, he's not doing anything for me. Like, he's been boring the shit out of me, honestly. But,
Shout out to Randy Orton, though, for not making us watch Roman Reigns versus Kane.
yeah, I disagree with Daniel on that. I was not looking forward to that match again, because I'm sure it would have just been another squash match. But moving on, we had Fandango versus Diego. I'm not even going to waste any fucking time talking about this, but if y'all have any thoughts, Damien, what do you think?
I'm tired of seeing these hookers.
Yes.
Amen.
Should I see at least? Can you put them in bikini bottoms? I mean, that's their story.
Fandango should call David Otunga and have he should have stipulation that says that Layla or Summer Rae or any other crazy bitch that I've slept with isn't allowed at ringside, because we all know when they're there how my match is gonna fucking end.
Yeah, he could get a restraining order for sure.
I think that for some reason, I don't know about you guys, but I feel weird now watching Fandango out there. It's like he's like a weird like competitive with the whole dancing thing. It's like, can we get him off? Can he off TV? Can he like start watching, start wrestling in dark matches or something? Because there's no point in him. He has no valet or anything. And I'm getting tired of these escorts coming out with different wrestlers every week. So let's get them off.
I miss Disco and Virgil every time I see this dude.
You know what, though? Can I defend Fandango real quick? Because I want to say that when he did his win over Jericho at WrestleMania a couple years ago, that was big. But other than that, guys, and other than the fans seeing him, they never given Fandango anything. Anything. Even these matches now that he's by himself, it's awkward because you know how the finish is going to be every time. Like, there's no point to his matches because it doesn't tell a story. If they gave this man something, I think he can get over. The crowd wants to cheer Fandango. They're just not putting him in that position.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, with what they've done to his character, and I mean, the character in the first place has a relatively low ceiling. With that goofy of a gimmick, you know, you're not going to ever rise above the IC title picture. But, yeah, I mean, Fandango is very talented. With the right gimmick and push, like, he could be a player, but I don't ever see it happening.
I compare him to Val Venus a lot. I was reading an article a couple of days ago, and it's really similar. He's got a lot of charisma, he's got a lot of good things. He had one gimmick that kind of stuck with the theme song, and I don't think WWE can ever let him stray too long from that gimmick because the nostalgia, if he's still in the company and he does something else, whenever he comes out to Fandango, he's going to get a cheap pop. That's just how it's going to go for the rest of his career.
I mean, I think if he could be as successful as Val Venus, I would chalk that up as a victory for Fandango. Val Venus, like, he was IC champ, like, he was a very strong part of the show. He was one of the most over wrestlers they had for about a year, back in 98, 99. But, yeah, I don't see Fandango ever reaching what he had at the beginning of his career. The concussion just fucked up everything, and I don't see him recovering. But moving on, we had Stephanie and Nikki with a little awkward exchange backstage. Daniel, what do you think?
Nothing really. I mean, it was just another backstage segment. I really don't have much to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, it was short. There's not a whole lot to say. Drew, you take anything away from it?
Enough to think that please let Nikki have a heel turn. I do not want to see Stephanie by herself in a match against Brie. I'd like to see a swerve where it's no disqualification and Nikki comes out and does some move to Brie for Brie to lose. I like that because then it kind of solidifies the B plus player thing. So I think it's interesting that they still interact and all that stuff. So I hope, God, they have that heel turn for Nikki.
Tony, do you take anything away from this promo?
Exactly. The whole thing came with awkward. Nikki and Stephanie have no charisma on camera. It was like they were both had no clue what the other's line was. They kept waiting on the other person to talk next. The whole segment came off, and the word I used to describe it was unorganic. I just felt programmed, and it did not come off well at all.
That's Nikki Bella for you, in my opinion. Damien?
It sucked.
But yeah, I thought this whole thing, it was pretty dumb. Nikki's big line was talking about eating a plate of crap. I mean, I thought that was really awkward as well. But yeah, moving on from one awkward promo to another, we have the Dust Brothers backstage. I don't know, same shit as always. Cosmic Tea, random bullshit.
We can fucking awesome if that was what they were looking for the whole time.
Or it's Hornswoggle in a wig and looking like him. He's in the board.
I hope the Cosmic Key is the unemployment line. That'd be great.
Yeah, they need to end this fucking gimmick as soon as possible and just go ahead, have the Rhodes brothers feud, have Goldust put over his brother and retire and take the producer role backstage that he's been guaranteed. I have no interest in seeing it anymore. They had a great run as the Rhodes brothers. Like, I mean, they were the hottest part of the show, all last year. I mean, the matches they put on with the Shield were insanely good. Some of the best matches I've seen in it all year. But, yeah, it's just stupid and pointless. Next up, we have the Divas tag match. Naomi and Natalya versus Cameron and Alicia. Daniel, can you take anything away from this?
The only thing I took away from it was that there was a lot of pink going on in that match, and I thought Natty was going to try to have her own little female heart foundation or something. But other than that, Naomi did have a nice submission finisher. I give her credit for that, but it was nothing impressive to me. The match overall.
Yeah, it was short. There wasn't really much storyline advancement. Drew, do you have any thoughts on it?
I only have one thing to say. World Star! World Star!
Tony, anything?
No, I mean, other than the fact that they debuted that finisher a couple of weeks too late, because it makes no sense to have the pay-per-view to have Cameron go over a stupid ass finish, and then a couple of weeks later it gets choked out by Naomi's leg. Makes no sense.
Yeah, I mean, the booking in this feud has been pretty weird. But, yeah, like Tony said, the submission kind of came out of nowhere. I like that they're, expanding her offense. I'm all for people using more different maneuvers. But, yeah, I mean, the booking in this Funky Tackles breakup has been nothing but confusing to me. Moving on, we have the main event match. Rollins versus Jericho. What did you think, Drew?
I thought it was a good match. I thought it told a story. I thought it was missing an element that I would have liked to see. Like Rollins trying to run away and Ambrose doing something, but I didn't see. Yeah, I mean that was left to me that they didn't further the storyline between those two.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of weird that there was no Ambrose tonight. No Ambrose or no Sheamus. Sheamus has been sick, so I understand that, but Ambrose has been one of the hottest characters they got, and they should have him on every show. He wrestled on main event, or he's going to be wrestling on main event, so yeah, I mean, kind of odd. Tony?
I didn't like how they went ahead and just said on national TV that he was doing promotional tours, because if you have a feud with the Authority, why the hell are they sending you out to do their work? You're doing it willingly. That just kind of ruins the whole storyline effect. Other than that, though, I didn't really take any much from it. It was a good match to set up the ending, to tell a story, and to get to the final segment. Yeah, I really don't think they try really hard to write Raw these days. That's just my opinion. I think that they have a 3-hour show and they only write it for 2 hours, and the rest of it is all fillers. So that's what I got from this match, pretty much. Just further advance the whole issue that everybody has with each other.
True. DC, what do you think of this match?
I thought it was a good match with a lot of potential. If it didn't end the way that it did, I thought it was going to be a straight, not going to say a clean match, but at least, have some sort of clear winner without any interference. But I wouldn't mind seeing this match again, somewhere in the next couple of months or so. I know they're not going to face each other at Summerslam though, but I enjoy watching both of these guys fight.
True. Yeah. I would like to see this match again. Like, I mean, this could be a great match, an all-time great match. It was good, but considering the workers in it, I think it could have been a lot better. It could have been better if Ambrose showed up in addition to Wyatt. You know, it could have just been a big brawl, clusterfuck at the end. I think it would have been really cool. But yeah, I thought the ending was kind of botched, like with the DQ win. Like I thought we should have seen a legit finish to it. Moving on to the main event segment, actually, Diva segment, ending the show. That's probably the first time in a long time for that. Tony, what do you think of this final segment?
I guess I'll go ahead and make that my thought session when I go ahead and make it shorter because it actually ties into it. When did the WWE become, like one day they just walk up and say, you know what, we're a TV show, we're going to go out of our way to make cuss words part of our promos. I'm okay with it when it's organic, if the words fit, and you just say it in emotion, but when you go out of your way, like Brie Bella has been doing, to say the words that, and to have Stephanie use the same word to get herself over, and then the idiotic crowd comes marching out every time they hear a cuss word like they've never heard one before. And her next, like, ooh, she called her a bitch. Yeah, she did. And you're the one reacting about it, making them do it more. Just stop. Like, they're doing it to make me get in the feud. And for them, the crowd that's screaming, this is awesome. Go kill yourself. Just stop. And you don't know what awesome is. And this ended the show, guys. That ended the show. That's all I'm going to say about that. That was your main event. Stephanie calling Brie a bitch. That's all I got to say.
Damien, what do you think of this final promo with Steph and Brie?
I agree with Anthony. I mean, back in the day when people cussed, it was part of their everyday language. I felt like Austin, you son of a bitch, every day. These women who you're cussing, I think it's because of the damn soap opera writers they got now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because this stuff, it blew.
Horrible.
It's horrible.
Daniel, what do you think?
I thought there was some bad acting going on, if you ask me. Stephanie was a horrible actor. I wanted this match to happen on WrestleMania. I think that, like I've said before, that Stephanie needs to get her hand dirty and get into a match with Brie Bella. The whole, hey, if you drop the charges, no, if you do this, I'll drop the charges. If I do this, will you drop the charges? Sure. But will you do this and then you'll drop the charges? Yeah. But I want to have a match with you at SummerSlam. I mean, it was just long, boring, bad acting going on. And it was like, why did you guys say this for like the end of the show? It could have been dealt with in the middle of the show. But it wasn't all that great.
Drew, what do you think of it, man?
I'm just going to say this. Every time Brie Bella talks, I think she's had a stroke or two. I swear that woman has had a stroke because every time she says the word, bitch, I'm like, oh no.
I think she got correct. I think she got correct for together. Because she talks real low at first, and then when she gets to the word, she's like, you know who you are? You're a stupid little.
And it's just terrible. I mean, Stephanie, it's going to be a terrible match. They're trying to push it like it's a main event. Don't know why. I think they're just trying to, they didn't even mention Daniel Bryan pulled off robbers or something, it would have been nice to say, well, glad your husband was good enough to save your house from a robber, but not good enough to come back to work. That's a big plus point for sure. You know, you would dig all Daniel or something about it, at least make it acknowledgeable. But I mean, it's mediocre. It really was. And my dad was like, that shit is horrible. While he was doing the Roman Reigns books.
I want to add real quick too, because I forgot to put it. She gave her job back before she asked for the match. But if you were going to sell the match and make me want to watch it, wouldn't you put her job on the line? Isn't that smart looking? I'll be crazy.
Well, it's all contingent on if the match happens. So, but yeah, I disagree with all y'all. I thought it was a good segment. Other than the main event of Lesnar and Cena, this is the next most hyped match. Everything else on the Summerslam card is a rematch. The Divas title match is a rematch. Rusev and Swagger is a rematch. Jericho and Wyatt is a rematch. So I think it is a big deal that Stephanie will be having her first match in a decade, and I support the decision to close the show with it. Yeah, like the acting wasn't all that great, but for all the talk that Stephanie is the greatest heel in the company and she cuts the best promos, I think Brie kept up with her tonight. It wasn't Steph's best promo, but I thought Brie played up to her level, and I thought it was good. Like it got me more pumped for SummerSlam because it appears that they are actually going in that direction. I know Drew was saying he hopes that it's no DQ and Nikki turns and all that, but I don't think that they need to do that just yet. I think that would be too much. No, I think that would be overbooking this match.
Yeah.
I think just the fact that Stephanie is going to be having a match will be enough to sell everybody on the match. It's enough to sell me.
I think it should be a street fight. I don't think it should be a normal one-on-one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be one-on-one. They're going to protect Stephanie in some way. You're not going to see her out. I mean, she wasn't a good worker in the first place, so you're not going to see her hitting crazy enziguris and hurricane ranas and, you know, shooting star presses. It's going to be a cat fight, so I think it was effective, but yeah, they did definitely miss the opportunity to bring up Daniel Bryan and what he did this week, because, I mean, that's about as good of press that you can have for a babyface in WWE. I mean, that's perfect. It writes itself. But, yeah, overall, I thought Raw was pretty decent tonight. I would probably grade it a B or a B+. Damien, how would you grade tonight's show?
It started off as a sprint, ended like a marathon. I give it a C+.
True. DC, what do you think?
I thought it was a good Raw show. Overall, had a couple of good matches. Of course, I'm excited about the streak ending. But overall, I give it a B+ too.
True. What would you grade it, Drew?
D minus.
Because your boy lost to Arthur.
Because let me tell you why. There was no Heath Slater and there was no Ambrose and Bo Dallas lost. So that's why it goes from a C to a D minus, because your A+ players weren't going to be game.
Man, I think you need to get over this delusion that Heath Slater is ever going to get a push. I mean, I love Heath Slater. I think he sells people's offense as good as anybody in WWE. He makes people look good in the ring. He's awesome. His promos are good. He's very entertaining. But, I mean, it's clear that he's never going to get a push, not even a mid-card push. I mean, the most that he can ever hope for is a tag title. I don't think he's ever going to hold a single title in the WWE. I'd like for him to maybe hold the US or IC belt, but it's not going to happen. It's just not. I hate to break it to you, Drew. But yeah, I agree. It should have had Ambrose.
You just have to vote me.
No, I do not have to believe.
After tonight, everyone stopped
How would
believing.
you, what do you grade it, Anthony?
I'm gonna go with a B minus, like Damien said. Starting out, you know what, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go with a B minus because of the first hour. But like I said earlier, Raw has gotten to the point where after 10 o'clock, I've pretty much seen all I need to see. I need to watch the last hour.
Yeah, I mean, over the last few years, it's become pretty obvious that the best segment of the night and the real main event is the opening segment, not the closing segment. I mean, that's where the biggest angles take place, really.
I'm going to go ahead and add that John Cena is the main reason I gave this show as high grade as I did. And I'm going to end my part of the podcast by saying that it's unrare, it's uncommon for me to praise John Cena as much as I have in this episode. But John Cena delivered tonight. He really made that show, jump. So kudos, John Cena.
So I guess you vote Cena and Cesaro your segment of the night?
Yeah, my segment of the night, John Cena is my MVP.
True. Damien, what was your segment of the night?
Segment of the night was the opening segment.
True.
And Cesaro was my MVP.
Cesaro was your MVP? Yep. DT, what about you?
Yeah, I'm going to pretty much go with the opening segment as being the segment of the night, and basically how Paul Heyman was talking about how Cena was going to be beaten, victimized, and conquered. But my MVP of the night is my client, R-Truth, who conquered Bo Dallas Street.
Drew, what was your favorite segment?
My favorite segment of the night was Cesaro talking about Cena's shoes.
Huh.
And Cesaro, you're the real MVP.
True. Yeah. I gotta agree that the segment of the night was definitely the opening promo / match. MVP, yeah. As much as I would hate to, I probably have to give it to Cena. Nobody else really did anything that was superlative. Cena had the best performance in my eyes. Cesaro was up there, but Cena brought the heat.
And for anybody who listens regularly, for me and Todd, and give credit to John Cena like we're doing tonight, that really speaks volumes to either how watered down the product is or how much he stepped his game up or both.
But you also have to realize, this was John Cena after a break. I think he wrestled as much as he has wrestled too much.
I agree.
Least favorite segment of the night. Damien, what was your least favorite?
All Diva segments.
Huh. True. Daniel, what was your least favorite segment?
Probably have to be the kids segment, as I call it, because it was pretty much a match for the kids, which was Fandango and the two escorts and what's his name, Diego, out there. That was like the weakest.
True. Drew, what was your least favorite?
It's a tie between the Adam Rose match and the intellectual inspiration man with the Bulldog, with Pam hoping for a comeback.
No.
The Bulldog is the most electrifying
No.
in professional wrestling, like the Melton Down was back in the day in WCW.
That is an insult.
That's all those
Like the Spinneroni.
Yeah. Thank God the satisfaction wasn't here.
Tony, your least favorite segment?
I'm gonna go with a four-way tie, actually. I have Damien Sandow losing in a fucking astronaut suit to Adam Rose. I got the Layla Ray Tucker segment. I got the horrible six-man tag match. And there's probably another segment I'm missing. But probably, yeah. No, there's only three. I'm gonna go with this three.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of forgettable things. I think by far the worst has got to be the Fandango. Like, I do not give flying fuck about that storyline anymore. So I'm just done with it. Final thoughts on tonight's show. Anybody got anything to add? Damien?
Nope.
My final thought is Adam Rose will be set up for a push. He will be in the hunt for a title soon. Shout out to R-Truth for doing the what seemed the impossible. Um, Cesaro, I hope to see him in the main event soon, within a year. And that's it.
Drew, final thoughts?
I have two final thoughts. One, they didn't have the input players out there, the people that had, I would say, money to see. The Heat, the McMahon, the minute elected the American rock star, the one-man Southern rock band, the leader of the old 3MB, rest in peace, I pour my champagne out to him. And then, to me, where was Ambrose? Why not let Ambrose shine in Raw and get that pop? Because you have Roman Reigns is popping. John Cena was so big because Cesaro was on his game. I mean, where was his huge pop tonight? Ziggler, he gets his regular pop, but where was the huge pop? So I think they really missed out on a good opportunity.
Anthony, final thoughts?
Covered everything pretty much for Raw already. I want to go ahead and tell everybody to be listening later on in the week. Because as we all know, WWE's competition, TNA, no longer have a network. They have their show on, and as soon as we have details, Wrestling Dudes Radio will be bringing it to you with our thoughts on what will happen next on that. I want to make sure y'all follow us on Twitter at Goons Radio. So we have a Facebook page, Wrestling Dudes Radio, and I believe we're going to have our YouTube information up on that too. We don't have it on the page yet, but we'll get it on there. Thank y'all for listening to us, and yeah, that's pretty much my final thought. We're going to keep doing this.
My final thought would have to be, I'm actually going to regrade Raw as a C. Because now that I think about it, other than the few strong segments, it really wasn't all that memorable. And I think it shows that ever since WrestleMania, I think the product quality has gone down. I really do. Tony was saying, yeah, TNA got canceled by Spike TV. WWE might be in for some really bad news this week because Thursday they're announcing for the second time their network subscriber numbers. And according to insiders, that number might just be dropping because I know a lot of people that are going to cancel their subscription because it's, I mean, in my opinion, other than the pay-per-views, there's not really much to see on it. I mean, they do the WWE Countdown, the WrestleMania Rewind, and other than NXT and main event, I mean, that's about it. As far as new content, they don't do shit. I've been very underwhelmed by the network and WWE in general since they've launched the network.
I've had it since it started, and I don't use it for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, other than the pay-per-views and NXT, you know, it's pretty shit, in my opinion.
Not to mention how long have we had the network now? It's still, every time me and Todd watch it on my PlayStation, at least 4 times during a live show, we get a loop of the same segment 4 or 5 times. You're basically having looped 5 months in the year program here.
Yeah, it's so many glitches. I mean, it's really not that good of a product, and I think WWE has backed themselves into a corner because I don't see how they could go back to charging people $50 a month for a pay-per-view.
No,
But they're not, I don't think that they're making any money. I mean, considering all these budget cuts and all that, yeah, I mean, it's not good news for Vince McMahon. But yeah, that is our show for today. As Tony said, you can catch us on social media, Twitter at Goons Radio, Facebook at Wrestling Goons Radio, YouTube at Wrestling Goons Radio. We'll have a show later in the week discussing TNA and all the news with that. Hopefully some more details will come out. But until then, this is Todd signing off for Damien, Daniel, Drew, and Tony. We will catch you on the flip side.